Hey, what's going on, good people? Hey, today we're gonna talk about procrastination. What's going on, good people? I'm James Harris. I'm the founder of a movement called Mental Heal, which focuses on men's overall wellness, their mental health, as well as their physical health. And I'm also the author of a book called Man Just Express Yourself, which is an interactive planning guide for boys and men to better express themselves. I appreciate everybody who went out to support. Continue to drop your support. Salute to my, of course, those partners, those wives went out to buy this book for the men in their lives, their husbands, boyfriends, fiancés, and stuff like that. You guys are processing over dinner and date night. Definitely appreciate it. I like those reviews. I like those emails and stuff like that. I definitely appreciate my fellow colleagues, those other therapists and clinicians who got this as a tool to use in therapy that they do or just in our lobby as a conversation starter. I definitely appreciate it. And parents, yes, continue to get this book for your young ones. And I like your reviews as well of how your young one is benefiting and the different pictures and things that you guys are sending me is so wonderful. So I appreciate it. If you're looking to get that book, definitely go to Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere books are sold. You can get that, of course, on my website as well, mentalheal.com. Again, thank you guys week after week for checking in. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment or two, hit that button, let me know how you feel. Hey, so today we're going to talk about procrastination. A lot of people tend to put things off in the good spirit of I just don't feel like doing it or I work well under pressure or whatever the case is. But yeah, so procrastination definitely tend to creep up on many people. Everybody have a tendency of putting things off, but procrastinators, they chronically avoid different tasks and may deliberately look for ways to find a distraction from doing those tasks. Procrastination tend to reflect the personal struggles of, having self-control. To be honest with you, procrastination also involves a degree of self-deception. At some point, at some levels, procrastinators are aware of their actions and sometimes the consequences of those actions. But changing their habits require like a greater deal of effort than completing the task that potentially is in front of them. So again, it's those self-doubting, those self-control issues that they have to work on. Like to understand procrastination, you definitely got to understand like some of them are perfectionists. They tend to want to have more of like accept their behavior, never tackle a job that they're faced with possibly doing because they don't want the results of not potentially doing the job correctly. They may be so highly concerned about what others would think or how they feel about the future risk of being judged by this job. So a lot of them are perfectionists, but at some point procrastinators tend to perform better under pressure. That's what they tell you. I perform better under pressure. I'm gonna wait till the last minute to get this studying done or this big work project or whatever the case is. It may be true, So some of them may be able to convince themselves to that ability of, oh man, the deadline is in 2 days. I gotta have this 100-page document done. It may be true for some of them, but some of them are actually just afraid. So research shows it's greater. In different cases, it can definitely vary. Instead, they make the different habits of last-minute work experience, the rush, the euphoria that comes from putting that amount of pressure on themselves, seem to like overcome different odds and stuff like that. So some people feel that that pressure is definitely a euphoric feeling. I can definitely get motivated because I know I got 2 days left. I got to do this within the 2 days. So procrastination is driven by a variety of thoughts and habits, but not fundamentally. We're bored to try to put tasks off. We don't believe we enjoy doing them. So if I don't like doing something, I'm gonna wait till the last minute to do it. But if it was something that I want to do, I'll make a time for it. I'm gonna knock it out as soon as possible. I'm gonna continue to, prioritize what I need to prioritize, whether that's a task, whether that's relationships, whether that's making money or some simple as doing the dishes. So different people want to avoid making ourselves unhappy. So, or we face the fear that we want, in order to do these things. So it's all a process, within our mindset. So we definitely got to change our mindset. People may also procrastinate when they are like confused by the complexity of a task. Like let's just say you got to fill out your taxes or something. Like like man, W-2, 1099 is real estate form. I got so much. Nah, I can just wait. I'm gonna call the account tomorrow. I'm gonna call, and tomorrow never comes. So definitely ensure that you are in a position to not be overwhelmed by the complexity of different tasks and stuff like that, because you're trying to distract yourself if you are. And from a psychological standpoint, some people believe that procrastination is rooted in self-confidence, having different anxiety, whether you was raised with a lack of structure, or you just have the inability to motivate yourself to complete an unpleasant task. So it all boils down to several things. Find motivation within yourself, whether that's the inner motivation. Make sure you do that. And again, find a task. Every task is not going to be one that you want to complete, but of course some things that you have to complete, whether you like to do it or not. And also some of those psychological factors. Procrastination is closely linked to rumination, like becoming fixated on those negative thoughts, and not dealing with self-consequences. Procrastination is also a coping mechanism for self-defeating behavior patterns. So you definitely want to check yourself on those things. And a lot of people also predict that we'll have time in the future to get these things, whether that is called effective forecasting. People tend to be fairly bad at it, like, oh, I'm going to do this next week. I'm going to do this next month. I still got time. And then before you know it, it's 24 hours left. You know what I mean? You still haven't started doing research on it, whether that's school or whether that's work or whatever the case is. But you have to understand that there's potential consequences for your procrastination. Procrastinators may believe that you can relieve pressure in the moment, but it also can have like steep emotional, physical, and practical costs to it if you don't complete these tasks when they're supposed to be done. And sometimes the difficult part of it is like you're procrastinating, but those actions are affecting other people. Let's say you're in a group project, or let's say you work in a team setting in the office. Those things, you're not having yours done. I remember being in like school, like I'm done with my assignment, but I gotta wait on this other person who's gonna be late. Our grade might be affected and stuff like that. And of course, the work setting, those things also have consequences. So, it's a lot of students who routinely procrastinate tend to get lower grades. Workers who procrastinate produce lower quality of work because they had to rush through it. Not in all cases, but some cases. In general, habitual procrastinators can experience reduced well-being in the forms of insomnia. Yes, staying up, having these thoughts of doing things. And what's weird is you up thinking about the things that you can actually be doing. So do you have insomnia, or are you just tossing and turning, worrying about what you can be doing instead of just doing it at that time? And also, like, procrastination can weaken your immune system and give you gastrointestinal issues. And we also know gastrointestinal issues and weakened immune system and insomnia are linked to several mental health diagnoses. So think about that. Procrastination can also jeopardize both professional and personal relationships with people. I believe that is true because, again, like, we boys and everything, but I've been waiting, like an hour or so, or a couple of days for you to do X, Y, Z. I can't even depend on you, or whatever the case is. Or, of course, if it's husband to wife, or wife to husband relationship, your partner is waiting on you to get a task done for the children or for them, and it's not being done. Of course, they can put a strain on how you guys continue to move as a unit. You definitely can be in a position to beat procrastination, though. So it's definitely possible to overcome it. It takes effort, though. You definitely have to take effort, because you got to remember, like, if you're 30 plus and you've been in the same pattern all your life, it's not going to happen overnight. But you definitely can start slowly making changes. Change the behavior, definitely a lot of energy that has to go into it. Engage highly structured regimen. I definitely give my clients who have an issue with completing tasks or not following through or just procrastination I use CBT with them, cognitive behavior therapy, and it seems to work. You know, we're making schedule, we're making tasks, we're setting deadlines, we're highlighting targets. You know, we're doing different things to reduce how they procrastinate or how they view tasks and stuff like that. In the short term, some cognitive tricks can definitely help you complete desirable tasks or make them more desirable so you'll want to do them. So, again, that was on procrastination. So, drop me a comment. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you procrastinate? Are you able to knock out tasks when you need to knock them out? Continue to like, share, subscribe, submit me your questions. Let me know what you got to think. Appreciate you.